Today we're going to be looking at the Smith & Wesson Model 41, a 22 caliber target pistol, which for many is sort of the definition of the bullseye gun in 22. This particular gun, again, belongs to my good friend Jim, who is fortunate to have, for me to have a good friend who's a collector of some very nice firearms, because you get to use his firearms to do these video reviews, so I'm very grateful for that. One of the many nice things about this gun is the fact that, unlike many auto-loading pistols, what's reciprocating here is the lower part of the slide, and that means the rest of the gun is basically a rigid platform. And so you've also got a steel construction, so the gun is pretty heavy, especially with the optic. It's got, like most Smith & Wesson products do, a very, very nice trigger. So we're going to shoot this. Again, I haven't shot this since you got it 2 years ago, and I'll have to kind of figure out where I am with this. We'll do some shooting offhand as well as some from a bench, so actually rest it. We're going to use the red dot because that's what's set up with it. This is what's called a match dot. This is really kind of a high-end red dot. It's made in Japan. Jim has done a beautiful job, as he always does with his firearms, kind of tricking them out with super nice stuff. So we're going to go ahead and shoot this thing and give you some perspective on it, both in terms of its accuracy and just feel and fit of the gun in the hand, and we'll see what that looks like. So we have a couple of different types of ammo. What I'm using today is the standard velocity CCI, which this gun likes, according to Jim. Also going to try some of the Federal Target auto batch, which for my Browning Buckmark loves this ammo. So I got a couple different ammunition, and we're going to try those and see how they function and see what they are from an accuracy standpoint. I am not a bullseye shooter. Let me make that perfectly clear right now. So again, I've got we are 50 feet away, and I've got some targets down there. And please understand, I am going to do my best with a relatively new gun for me, and I'm sure the gun is capable of much greater accuracy than I am. So we're going to do our best to really make good hits. And so, one thing you'll note when you shoot red dot optics is, unless you're shooting with them all the time, what you find is that dot is moving around a lot, and I'm actually going to try to show you that with the camera in just a minute. So, you know, offhanded, I'm looking down at my group. It's low. It's basically right on in terms of the windage, but it's low, and it looks to me like the bulk of my shots are sort of in there. I got a couple that are high. Again, a lot of this has to do with I just don't know the gun, and I'm just not used to this red dot sight, which dancing all over the place is enough to drive you nuts. So I'm going to reload, and then we'll take a look at the target. Then we'll bench the gun and see what that looks like. I think that accuracy will improve dramatically because I won't have that red dot dancing around. We'll also try to take a look at that and see what that looks like. So there's our group, and you can see the bulk of the group is really down at 6 o'clock. I've got a few rounds that are just way outside. Again, don't know the gun, really working on that. We're going to bench it and see if we can improve that, which I think it will pretty dramatically. Okay folks, so now what we're going to do is we've got the gun benched. I basically got sandbags, very stable platform, and I've got you in on the target. Again, we're the same distance. We're at 50 feet. see if we can slow down and be a little more deliberate and accurate. So, much easier to do. Again, pretty gosh darn good group. Bench, so very stable position. I'm actually going to try the same thing with the auto match ammunition from Federal and see if that makes any difference, if it likes this ammunition better or less. And we'll give that a shot on this target over here. See what that looks like. So it appears that both groups are pretty good. It would appear that perhaps it likes the CCI better. Again, CCI on the left, the auto match on the right. So I'm going to give it another 10 rounds of the auto match into that right target. And we'll see what that looks like. It's a nice gun. So you can see that it's just right in that same little cluster that we were shooting before. So gun seems to do okay with this Federal auto match ammo. So we're back to our CCI. I'm now going to try some offhand shots, and we'll just see if I hit the paper plate in half, let alone a nice tight group. But anyway, I'm going to do my best, and hopefully you bullseye shooters out there won't send me too many flaming emails about how bad I am at this. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can dial this in. And I'll tell you, I'm going to show this to you in just a minute, but the red dot dancing around out there is just so distracting for me, and obviously it shows that I don't have a great steady hold on the gun. And I believe, you've really got to get used to that. I normally shoot iron sights. Yes, I have red dots on my on an AR and most of my ARs and AKs. But again, that is really more quick combat acquisition, sight acquisition. It's not precision shooting. This is precision shooting. And that red dot dancing around there is just a challenge for me to maintain my focus because I'm watching it dance all over the screen. So I'll stop bitching and actually try to just shoot the gun, stop whining, right? safety here is one that you really got to get off, so that's good. My thumbs are riding up and inducing malfunctions. That's just me. That was a flyer. Not pretty. Let's take a look, at least to hit the plate. So this is our target, and you can see this is why I am not a bullseye shooter. But at least with the exception of the one flyer that's on the left of the little fluorescent square, you know, my windage is basically there. I'm just moving the gun too much, and I don't practice enough of this precision shooting from this distance. So obviously I have a lot of room for improvement. Now I'm going to show you, we're going to try anyway to look through the sights and give you a sense of what that red dot looks like. So I can't tell whether or not looking through the sight here that you can see the red dot. I can, but it's tough to tell. Oh, there it is. I guess you can see it there. So that's what you're looking at, and as you're trying to hold the gun steady, you know, that you're seeing that dot move around, and right now it looks like it's nice and steady. Wish it was before. And then one of the things you can do is you can actually decrease the size of that dot and the brightness of it on top. So you know, that really helps. When you're trying to hold it super steady, right, on a bullseye target, though, that can be a challenge, or at least a challenge for me, based on what we've seen with the target. So anyway, that is the Smith Wesson Model 41. Excellent target gun, excellent bullseye gun. Special thanks to my very good friend Jim, who was kind enough to lend this to me. Beautiful gun. Really an honor to get to shoot it. Obviously, I am not a high-skilled bullseye shooter. So, for all of you that have been watching, I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, like the videos, share your comments, a lot of good comments. I really appreciate those people who are correcting some of the errors, either that I say when I speak or with regards to specific products or manufacturers or whatever. That's great help, and frankly, it doesn't do anything from my standpoint other than show me that there are a lot of people out there who know quite a bit about firearms. And therefore, it's wonderful when they look at a channel and they weigh in and say, hey, you know, by the way, Seth, you missed this or something else. So I sincerely appreciate that feedback and your comments. I want to also, again, shout out to my good buddy Jim, kind enough to let me borrow this and some of his other firearms. They're just great. He's a good friend and really a fabulous guy. Very, very generous to let me shoot these and share these with you. So thank you, and as always, stay safe.